Hi guys, it's 10 on Thursday night, and I totally meant to try and get this amazing post out earlier, but my day got crazy busy, and it ties in pretty seamlessly with our topic for today's live challenge, which is how to overcome the struggles of creative roadblocks and just how to like not feel stuck. So I hope some of you are chiming in. I know it's a little bit late, but I think for us moms, this might be like the safe time. It's like the safe hours. So anyways, I think, in terms of like Honest Mama, it's a brand that we've kind of created with a lot of passion and a lot of heart. But in addition to that, it's like we've had to get really creative with some of the designs that we do and some of the wording and messages that we're trying to put out in the cards and in some of the other products that we're going to be releasing. And sometimes, man, yeah, we just hit a wall. So I know that there are some things for me that really, really worked. So just a little like backstory on me. I've always sort of leaned towards like the artsy world. I loved painting back in college, and my dad was an art major. I just love art, anything related to art. So for me, I was like, whenever I would be painting in college or something and I'd hit a wall and I would just be so annoyed with it, I'd usually go grab a cocktail and maybe something, like a smoke, and be like, okay, let's just reset. And I would just plaster it with like, black paint and start over, and I'd hit my reset button, and it helped. But now that I have kids, like, I can't really go do that. I can't go, hey, Jess, let's just like, throw all these cards away and start from scratch. It's like we have to find time to reset, because the creativity that we want to put into these cards is something that we want to share with you and we want people to really love. So with that in mind, I have personally created some tips that have worked for me to kind of help with that struggle of my roadblock, and then how just to not feel stuck. So one of the things that if you're trying to create something and you have hit a wall and you don't know like what to go, whether it's you're trying to write a book, or you're trying to launch a new business, or you're trying to help redesign a house. It's like, just take a moment, step back, and try a few of these things. So first and foremost, I've learned now, I think as I'm a little older, that meditating is huge. It really does like help you, not only for your, physical health, but mentally. Like, you can just check out, if you can get away from the kids for a few minutes and just take a breather, check in with yourself, try and block out all of the work that you're trying to do, and just try and center yourself. And sometimes you can find some clarity in that. Another thing that I've recently been doing is running, and this is a new thing for me. I've never been quite the big fan of running, but it clears my head, and it really helps, especially if I can do it to music. Hold on, I have a senor here. Do you need something?
Screaming for you.
Of course she's screaming for me. I'm live doing a Facebook live feed for Honest Mama. You want to join in?
No, I'm naked.
I'm so sorry. Anyways, so like running's been something that really helps me, and I even jokingly like asked Jess, like, hey, do you have a gym at your place? Because I just gotta sometimes work out. It just helps. So find some time to check in with your own physical health, because it can help sort of balance some things out for your creativity level. For me also, if I'm like doing a redesign on a house and I'm hitting a wall and I'm like, I don't even know what to do with the space, it's just overwhelming, I will just blast some music and just say, you know what, screw it. I'm going to just set it aside for the day, take a moment, have a glass of wine, just blast some music and shake it off. I get the kids involved, and I just say, like, I got to table it, dude. Table it for the day. My creativity juices will get flowing tomorrow. It'll be fine. And a big part, I think, for women especially too, when we're trying to be creative, is if you're hormonal, it can help you create something amazing, or you can just feel really stuck. So tap in, make sure you're listening to your own like physical self. So if you're feeling really hormonal, sometimes just watch a movie, release, read a book, do something that will help get all of those emotions out, because I'm telling you, man, us as women, we're pretty powerful vessels, and we can come up with some pretty creative stuff as soon as we actually listen to our physical selves. So I know Jess and I, a lot of times when we're trying to do design sessions and we're just like, oh my gosh, I'm like, it's one of those months. I've seen that we create some pretty cool stuff. So make sure you're listening to your body. And lastly, if you're trying to be creative and you're hitting a roadblock, I know something that works for me is check in with your partner. Sometimes being intimate and connecting with your partner can also open you up to being a little bit more open-minded and having a different perspective. And the next day when you go back to your project that you're working on, whether it's photography, whether it's, designing cards like Jess and I and other products, whether it's doing interior design, painting, whatever it is that you love, sometimes the next day you're just like, oh wow, I feel a little bit like lighter and a little bit more into what I'm doing. And when you're enjoying the creativity that you're producing, like you just feel that much more excited to finish it and see the final product. So for us, like, we do hit struggles trying to be creative, and I think we all do. But if you can try some of these remedies and use them in ways to help with those roadblocks, that might work for you. They work for me. So we have some really cool stuff coming out that I know we've even struggled with creating, but I'm really excited to share them with you because they turned out pretty awesome. Even though we hit some roadblocks, they turned out pretty awesome. So I hope that you guys are all being creative out there. I've seen a lot of moms doing some of their own businesses, and I think it's fantastic. It's awesome. So keep it up, man. Like, we are all very capable of some pretty amazing stuff. So from us to you, have a good night. I'm sorry for the late night style, but this was as good as it was going to get today, people. It was a long day, and it's probably going to be another long tomorrow, but at least I did it. I made my challenge for day 3, so tomorrow Jess will probably be chiming in. Or actually, we're going to be chiming in tomorrow together. So I will see you guys mañana. I hope you guys get a good night rest, and I do too. My kids don't sleep, but we'll see what happens. So we will talk tomorrow. Bye. Good night.